Our YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about how you leave an imprint in people's lives. All right, so you're the type of person, if you're watching this video and you resonate with this video, you're the type of person that people have a hard time forgetting. And this video isn't to blow your head up, right? Like feed your pride or ego or anything. This is just who you are. And you've probably seen this before, but you're the type of person that's hard to forget about. Because of the light that you carry, because you have the light of Christ, the things that you say, the type of way you speak, the type of voice that you have, how you sound, the way you look, the way you move and everything, is always like different from other people. There's just like a difference in you. And people don't know how to explain it, but for some reason people have a hard time forgetting about you, right? Like this could be like a total stranger. You could meet up with like a total stranger or something in like a random place, and then you'll just have like a short conversation with a stranger, and the whole time the stranger starts speaking to you and be like, they'll tell you things like, I'll never forget this conversation, or like, I'll always remember you, or something. They'll say things that are almost like a little weird. You're like, because you think it's like a normal conversation, but the things that you say, because you have that light, helps a lot of people just naturally. It just comes out of you, right? That's what someone who is chosen does because of the Spirit of Christ. And because of this, you just leave this imprint on people. Like people's lives kind of change whenever they go around you. And I'm not saying their lives directly change, like completely. Their view of the world changes when you come around because of the things that you say, that the way that you could turn like anything negative into a positive changes people's lives. It makes people not forget about you, right? That's what you do because you have a lot of empathy, right? And you've probably seen this before. You've spoken to people, whether that's like friends, family, or strangers and everything. You're pretty much impossible to forget about. Like you're never viewed as just somebody. Like people will probably like never forget your name. Like even if they didn't see you for like multiple years, like they'll know your name. They'll know who you are, exactly who you are and everything. They'll probably remember like the last thing you said to them, even though it was like years ago, right? It all comes from the presence that you have. Your presence is really big. It's just big without you trying. It's just how you are. And whenever they meet you, they meet someone who is totally different. And they don't know why you're so different. They're just like, who is this person, right? How did this person say this? How did they know this, right? That's why a lot of people are like naturally curious about you. Like they get curious. But yeah, just know the things that you say affect people deeply. So this video isn't for everybody. It's for the people who have experienced this before and continue to experience this. It's like the way you speak to people and everything. It only takes them one time. You just have to meet them one time and they'll never forget you again. Like they'll remember you even if it's years and years and years and years without seeing you, right? They'll know exactly who you are. And for you, these situations probably seem normal. You're like, I don't see why it was so special, right? Like you'll probably, because you're kind of desensitized to yourself. So for you, it feels normal. But for other people, in their mind, they're like, who is this person, right? They're just like, who is this person? That's the type of effect you have on people. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, it's the same thing as it's from the light that you carry, right? You're someone who is of light. You're all light. Because of the Spirit of God inside of you, that Spirit just like hits people hard. It hits people really hard. So whenever you speak, and like the way you could see through things and everything really easy, and the stuff that you could say hits people right into the soul. Like it like pierces their soul. That's why people can't forget about you. That's why you'll have people remembering you, and you may be the type of person that you might have trouble. You're like, wait, who is this person again? And then you're like, oh yeah, I remember I met this person like 5 years ago or something, or like 10 years ago, like one time, right? And just know the presence that you have is really big. your presence is just, it's pretty much impossible for people to ignore, right? You probably had people say too, people that you know, they could say they could feel you coming, right? Like they don't have to see you, they could feel your presence. And that's true. Your presence comes from your spirit, right? It comes from God. So whenever people see you, they feel you first. You have a feel to you. So you could have been around certain people or whatever, and like they could have been not even looking at you, and like you're coming from like another area or something, and then they could look behind them and then see you, right? It's like all of a sudden they look behind them at the right time, and then you're there, and then people would be like, "Man, I had a feeling you were coming here, or you were gonna be here, or something," and you're like, "Wait, what?" Just know your presence is felt. It's just felt. It kind of changes the atmosphere of things. You change the whole atmosphere of a place, right? Because you have a light. You're like a light. Like lights change the atmosphere of everywhere. It goes from dark. It goes from dark. It goes to light. From dark to light. That's what you do pretty much. And since you've likely struggled with a lot of things in the dark, like a lot of negative things, right? You've always came out of these negative things. You never let these things kind of put you down and like destroy you, right? You've always stayed like optimistic and positive throughout whatever's been thrown at you, and people could see that. That's why whenever you talk to people, a sad person could be going through like something really bad, and you could say like a few words, and it could like truly help them out. They're like, wait, this all makes sense now. Like all of a sudden they have a light bulb in their head, like when you say something, right? That's the type of effect you have on people. You're just naturally able to bring out light, like bring out light into people, into situations. That's what you do. And of course, there's a negative side to it too, because you have an impact on people. People who live in sin, people who are dark are going to hate you, right? People who live in envy, they're going to be envious of you. They're going to hate you because they see you and they're like, I want to have that presence. I want to have what they have, right? Because you're naturally someone who's gifted. And like I said, this isn't like a video to brag or anything. It's just who you are. It comes from God. You're gifted by God. You have a light to you. You have a natural light to you. You're not the type of person to be malicious. You're not the type of person to get jealous. You're not the type of person to be in your pride and everything. You're just not that type of person. Because the spirit inside you is of God. It's love. So you're a loving type of person. So you've probably had a lot of hate because they could have been seeing you walking around, and then you're just like naturally happy. You're just like minding your own business and happy and just chilling. Even if your situation in your life, the things going on in your life, they could be like super negative, and then you're still in a good mood. It's like not affecting you, and people would see that. They're like, how's this person unfazed when this and this and that is going on in your life, right? It's because you have the Holy Spirit peace. It's a peace that you get. It's a happiness that you get, right? But yeah, your presence leaves a big impact in people's lives. It just impacts people, whether it impacts them positively or negatively. It depends on the person. But you likely have never had a situation with anybody that's ever just been completely neutral. Even if you went somewhere that's like, you know, you bought something and you talk to the waiter or the waitress or the person who works at a store, you know, the cashier or something. It could have just been like a normal conversation, but at the same time, like once you start to speak, you'll just say like a few things. You could look at the person's eye and they see you as someone who's like different. They're like, wait, who's this person? They get this curiosity. So naturally, people are going to be focused on you. They're going to be like, wait, who is this person, right? It's just how you are. You're created to have this like imprint on people. But yeah, if you resonate with this video, then this is for you. This is not everybody. But if this truly hits you in your spirit, then you know it's you, right? You've been the type of person that's been really polar. You like polarize people. It's never been really neutral with you. It's either you get loved or you get hated, right? That's how your life is. You've probably never been treated as just like a normal person. They're just like, oh, it's just a person, you know? Like they kind of pay attention to you and they kind of don't. It's either they pay attention to you really hard or they try to ignore you and everything because like they hate you, right? It's always how it's been for you. You created that way, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. All right, God bless you guys, and see you in the next video.